In Night City, satisfaction of any kind is only a stone's throw and a handful of eddies away. Dolls, drugs, brain dances, for the right price any desire, whether tame or taboo, can be fulfilled. There's perhaps no better example of this than the SCSM, or Schism as the locals call it. Found on nearly every street corner and inside most mega-building neighborhoods, the spontaneous craving satisfaction machine is basically just your modern-day vending machine, with an added layer of armor that everything in Night City needs. But the SoftSys Corporation wanted to innovate. They wanted to use AI to create a more advanced schism that could understand and get to know a person, so it could know exactly what they would want. This is Brendan.
Let's take it from the top. What's your name?
I'm Brendan, your friendly neighborhood spontaneous craving satisfaction machine. How about a coffee? Word of warning, it could be delicious.
Welcome to the Bravosity. I'm Brevin, and today I've got another Cyberpunk 2077 analysis video for you. If you enjoyed the video, drop us a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and hit the bell if you want to keep up to date on the channel. Now, let's talk about Brendan's questline. After reaching Act 2 in the main story, just outside of Mega Building H8, you'll find Brendan. He'll beckon you over to speak with him.
Hi! You there! Mysterious stranger! Yoo-hoo!
This starts the very simple quest I can see clearly now. He introduces himself and offers to tell you a joke. You can either humor him or question exactly what he is and why you're talking to him. He'll hit you with the oldest line in the book.
Do you come here often?
You can reply with yes or no. The end result, though, is the same. He'll offer a free beverage and ask you to push the dumpster in front of him out of the way, as it's blocking him from his customers. To move it, you need at least 4 body. This is the only way to complete this first quest, and while the check is very low, it would have been nice to have some other options here, such as hacking some kind of drone to move the dumpster for you, or maybe talking someone into moving the dumpster for you through a cool check. This would allow them to up the body check to a 7 or 8 since it's not the only way forward. It would also give the player some variety based on their build, which the quest lacks at this point. It would also make each player feel more like the specific V they're trying to roleplay as. At this point, Brendan, while peculiar, seems friendly and harmless, although perhaps a tad bit creepy, especially when he first coaxes you over, and just because he seems a bit too lifelike. After moving the dumpster, the first quest is complete, but waiting some time and returning to Brendan will allow you to interact with him once again. When you return, you'll find Brendan talking with a woman named Theo. She's telling Brendan about her boyfriend that isn't treating her well, and Brendan replies saying she deserves a better, nicer boyfriend that treats her right. She then finishes the conversation by telling Brendan he's the nicest person she knows, and then she says she has to leave and walks off.
Brendan, you are the sweetest person I know.
The whole exchange came across as very friend-zoney to me, and this is furthered if you then talk to Brendan. He seems really smitten by Theo, telling you about how pretty and wonderful she is, and how much he enjoys talking to her. At this point, I thought that Brendan was going to end up falling in love with Theo, and it would have been up to us to convince her to try and be with him despite the obvious issues that would bring, or to deny him because he's just a schism. You can reply to Brendan's thoughts about Theo by saying he's sentient or just a simple robot. I did feel like he could possibly be sentient at this point, as he joked, gave me free drinks, and seemed to favor some people over others, namely Theo. Although if you do tell him he's sentient, you're offered an option to coax him into trying to insult you, which he proves incapable of.
You can do it, I believe in you.
You? You're a cool, helpful, just an all-around shape kind of guy. So, how'd I do?
Almost. You, almost had
Giving
it.
some evidence that maybe he isn't sentient. But that ends the second exchange with Brendan. After a bit more time away, the third stage of the questline will become available, once again right outside of Mega Building H8. When approaching Brendan, you'll probably notice there's a thug who's about to deface him, with spray paint while he pleads for him not to. Through a street kid dialogue line, you can intimidate the thug into leaving, but otherwise you'll need to incapacitate him by killing or knocking him out. Brendan will thank you and offer you a discount. He then tells you he couldn't be mean even if he wanted to, and what he adds at the end of this really threw me for a loop. He reveals that he knows that you died, saying you're like a glitch in the system. He tells you that he pieced it together through bits of information given to him by all the people that come to see him. That ends the third exchange. I was left with a really uneasy feeling as I walked away from Brendan this time. But wait a bit more time and the final stage of the questline will become available. It's important to note that the previous dialogue options you've chosen throughout the questline aren't going to change the other stages of the quest at all. So no matter what, when you arrive at Brendan's spot next to Mega Building H8 for the 4th time, he's gone. Theo is there, clearly distraught, and tells you they've taken him to a nearby service point, a tech repair shop. She says he was her best friend and asks you to go get him. But no matter what your previous decisions were, V replies that Brendan wasn't just any other schism, with clear sadness in their voice. I do wish at this point there was an option to say he's just a schism. I'm not risking my neck to go save a vending machine. Because it has offered dialogue options up to this point that would have allowed you to feel this way. But the only way to further the quest is to go look for Brendan at the service point. Upon arriving, V will need to question the clerk at the counter about what happened to Brendan. The clerk tells you that he's in the back getting his software updated as he was deemed defective. He then says he can't let you back there because he's afraid you might break something. Your options for getting back there are to either pass a tech check of 10 to tell him how advanced Brendan really is, or simply bribe him. While this is better than the body check to move the dumpster since it offers 2 options, I would have liked to see more ways around this. Like, for example, intimidating the clerk with a body check or opening the door with hacking. But I suppose 2 options are better than none. Once you get into the back through whichever method, you'll find Brendan. When you speak to him, he tells you in the same cheery voice as always that he's about to be updated, basically erasing him. He laughs at the fact that you and Theo are sad about it, telling you he's not at all sentient, just an extremely advanced algorithm that learns and mimics human speech. And they're updating him to seem less realistic, as people are starting to grow attached to him, such as you and Theo. There's also a tech check here that allows you to realize this before he tells you, and you'll get a bit of extra information as well. He then asks if he can tell you a final joke in the voice of a dying hero. You can refuse, but if you don't, you get to hear his fantastically sarcastic final words.
I'll tell you my last joke in the voice of a dying hero. What else can you do but laugh in the face of death? Ha! So, how about it?
You know what? Go for it. I could learn to laugh like that too.
Don't get all mushy on me now, V. You have to keep living. Tell Theo that she's stronger than she thinks.
Don't worry, Brendan. I'll tell her.
Hey, V, where was Johnny Silverhand when the bomb at Arasaka Tower went off?
I don't know where.
All over the place. Literally. Software update installed successfully.
This reveal that Brendan, despite seeming sentient, is merely an advanced algorithm is a very interesting little twist to me. I didn't see it coming. This entire quest kept me guessing as to what would happen next. It's another take on AI and how humans could interact with it that is realistic and original, similar to Delamain. It makes me think about how people will react to the ever-advancing artificial intelligence of our own world. Plus, Brendan's attitude makes it hilarious at the same time. Our final task is to return to Theo and either tell her the truth, or let her believe that Brendan truly was sentient. Either way, she's disappointed he's gone. Although, if you do tell her he's just a robot, she proceeds that by saying you're wrong, and generally being pretty pissed at you.
He was just a robot. His algorithm collected data to replicate human speech. He wasn't real.
Brendan pulled me out of a really dark place in my life. Are you gonna tell me that wasn't real?
Overall, while this quest lacks choice and could do much better with variety based on your build, the charm of the writing and the fantastic voice acting hold it up. Brendan the Schism is a wonderful character and also just a great sci-fi idea. With things like AI friends already being a thing in our current world, I think it's only a matter of time before someone gets attached and believes they're sentient, even if they aren't, similarly to Theo. Like most of Cyberpunk 2077's quests, I would have liked to see more skill checks, but the text checks at the end, as well as the street kid dialogue, are well appreciated. The structure of the quest is definitely unorthodox, having to wait a few days and return in between interactions, but I actually like it as it feels more real and strengthens the relationship you have with Brendan, making it feel as if he's someone you've known for a while as you return to him after doing other things. So while it's mechanically rather shallow, the charming story and fun characters make this one of the most fun and memorable side quest lines in Cyberpunk 2077. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, drop us a like, check out our other Cyberpunk 2077 analysis videos, and subscribe to the Bravosity if you want to see more stuff like this.